Gracin, G to the next level.
It's all good. How are y'all doing today?
Great.
Awesome. Oh, what a difference a year makes, huh? So, hey, thanks for coming out to Retropalooza. Thanks for coming to my panel. How you all doing today? Awesome, awesome. So, who here is this their first panel of mine, or first time attending one of my panels? You? Okay. Got a couple? Awesome, awesome. Got a couple of first timers here. So, for those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Gracin, and I run a YouTube channel by the name of G to the Next Level. I've lived in Houston for nearly all my life, and although mainly I'm a huge Sega fanatic, I love pretty much anything about retro gaming, or even just gaming in general. But you know, I mean, Sega does with Nintendo, am I right? But you know, hey, you know, I love Nintendo too, Sega, Sony, Microsoft, whatever you play. Just always say, keep on gaming and keep being awesome. So what I've kind of gathered for you all today, I'm going to do things a little bit different. Because normally for my panels, I normally give like, say, I'll tell you who I am, and you get a sneak preview of the video, Q&A, and all that fun stuff. But we're going to do things a little bit different. So I've got a good trailer that I can show for you all, and we'll go from there after that. So here you go.
Hey there, glad to see you here. Let me introduce myself. I'm G, and I've been an enthusiast of video gaming for over 25 years, and I share my passion for retro gaming through my YouTube channel, G to the Next Level. If I could capture what this channel is about in a nutshell, I'd say it's about retro gaming in the modern age. Though I'm a Sega fan first, and heck, the Genesis or Mega Drive is my favorite video game console of all time, I have a love of all things retro gaming, and its world is too vast and intriguing to remain in one category. I pride on this channel being a variety show, where there's something for everyone. If you like retrospective reviews, then you'll enjoy my Treasure Chest review series, where I review rare and uncommon games in my collection. If you like a good ranking list video, and honestly, who doesn't, then my Level 10 Countdown series is for you, where I take down my favorite games and topics like Sonic games that you may have skipped, favorite controllers, or games that should have been on a particular console. For those that enjoy childhood stories, there's my Gaming Items I'm Proud to Own series, where I turn back the clock and tell tales of how I got the favorite items in my gaming collection. If you like console reviews, there's my Console Consultation series, where I review new retro consoles like the Retro Freak, and even items like the Arcade 1-Up arcade cabinet, where I give them a full-on review, unboxing, test them out, and just see how it all plays out. There will be times when I give candid commentary about big happenings in games, or just topics for open discussion in videos. And of course, I'm a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan, so I've got plenty of Sonic the Hedgehog videos on the channel, including videos of my Sonic collection, some crafts, interviews, and much, much more. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your time here, as I hope to inspire, educate, and entertain all of you who join my journey through the past, present, and future, level by level. Thank you all for watching, hope you enjoy. I'm G, and hopefully, I'll see you on the next level.
Thank you. So yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Because one of the things that I absolutely love about making videos on YouTube is not only just like expressing passions and not only sharing thoughts and sharing memories, is to hope to most of all inspire everybody to carve their own sort of path for retro gaming. It's like whether you're an avid gamer, whether you're a collector, whether you play online, no matter what system, no matter what console that you play on, you know, just game and be awesome. That's really my best take. And I've been doing it now for about 3 years now on YouTube, 2 years for G to the Next Level. In fact, in a couple of weeks, I'll actually have a 2-year anniversary special for the channel in a couple of weeks. And also a collection update for my Sonic the Hedgehog collection, because a lot's happened in the last 2 years. So you saw a little snippet of some of the new additions in that trailer. So, but yeah, I've been in Houston for most of my life. Don't really plan on going anywhere. I'm always happy to be at Retropalooza. So yeah. So this is normally where I would actually give you all a sneak peek, or a sneak peek really of a new episode. So I decided to do things a little bit differently today. So one of the series that you saw is my Gaming Items I'm Proud to Own series. games, where basically I'll normally take like 3 games in my collection, and I'll tell the stories behind how I cheat. So today, I figured, let's do it live. How'd you guys like that? Y'all know how much that warms my heart. Like, seriously. So, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to grab 5 items from this lovely bag here, and I'm going to let you guys decide which ones are going to get picked. So, we have a Saturn Bomberman multi-tap.
Wow.
Duke Nukem 3D on the Mega Drive.
Ooh.
It's real. We have Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. My favorite Genesis song. Nice, there you go. And Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on VHS and on Sega Genesis. And a die-cast car from Split Second. Who here has played Split Second? Seriously, I figured. But if you'd like to talk about that, sure thing. And last but not least, we have Christmas Nights on the Sega Saturn and the original samplers. So, what I want for you all to do is, I want you to get as loud as you possibly can. I'm going to hover my hand like Showtime at the Apollo style. I'm going to hover my hand around these, and then I want you to cheer as loud as you can for which one you want us to hear the most. All right? You ready?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so I think what I'm gathering is I think these 3 are going to be the victors. How about that? So, let's go ahead and start off with what definitely got the highest praise, and that's Moonwalker. So, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. So, who here, aside from, like Susie said, it's your favorite game, and great choice, who here has played Moonwalker? Yeah? Awesome. Great. Great. So, Moonwalker, the thing about me and Michael Jackson, I have a long time history with Michael Jackson. And mainly because, like, as a kid, like, I looked up to him as an idol. You know, it's like between his music and his style, his dancing performances, like, I gotta ask all of you all, because who here, like, who grew up with Michael Jackson as a kid, you watched his music videos, and you danced along with the music? Everybody, almost everybody, right? I know I did, because it was always funny because we would watch MTV as a kid, and every time, The Way You Make Me Feel, that's my favorite Michael Jackson song. The Way You Make Me Feel. Every time that came on, I would get up as a kid and I would do the dance and whatnot. I can't do it now because I'm old. But yeah, I would do that dance. How dare? Really? I love you, Jose. But yeah, so going into the game, my first real exposure to Moonwalker was actually the arcade game. It was the bowling alley, the same bowling alley that my dad and I used to go to whenever they were bowled. They had Moonwalker in the arcade, and I played it. It's a great game too. Shame never got home. So when they announced that Moonwalker was coming out home for Genesis, I was like, need it. Absolutely need it. And the thing is that it's such a phenomenal game. Like as far as, I mean, not really so much on the gameplay side, it does have some flaws, but mainly the whole, just capturing the moments that happen in the movie, capturing the moves Michael Jackson in the soundtrack. There's games that actually take advantage of the Sega Genesis sound chip. It's just, that's one of the best. I mean, easily. It's definitely a much better effort than the Master System version, I can tell you that. But, as far as Moonwalker the movie itself, I never actually owned a copy until literally about a month ago when I went up to San Antonio for South by South. Well, I went to Austin for South by Southwest and went to San Antonio the next day to meet up with Kingsley from here at Retropalooza. We were out at a flea market and I found the VHS for $1. And I say that's like $1 very, very well spent. So yeah, Moonwalker, I mean, like I said, it might not be the greatest game ever, but I'll definitely say it has a very special place in my heart. It's like every time I fire it up, I can feel that kid in me singing. I can feel that kid in me dancing along as you play through the game. It's great. It's a great game. So, moving on, let's get the oddity up next. So, I know, like, I heard a few oohs when I pulled out Duke Nukem 3D. So how many of you knew about this? Got a couple? Yeah, okay. How many of you are familiar with Tectoy? Yeah, so a couple. Okay, so Tectoy is a company that's in Brazil, and a lot of the products that they do are by Sega. And they normally local, or I guess in their case, like they bring over many of the Genesis, Mega Drive, Master System games over. Master System is still being sold in Japan from Tectoy, which is actually pretty awesome. But Duke Nukem 3D is one of the randomest things I had ever seen. I thought it was fake. Like the first time that I saw it, because I was pulling through, which one was it? I guess it was Gen's emulator, and I was going through like a list of ROMs, and I was like, Duke Nukem 3D. I'm like, wait, that can't be real. I was like, that can't be real. And I pulled it up and saw the Sega logo, the Tectoy logo, the 3D ROMs logo. I was like, wow, they went all the way with this. And then I looked it up, I was like, wow, it's real. And I'm like, I need this. I need this. So, unfortunately, with Duke Nukem 3D, there's no real achievement story on it. I did buy it from eBay. I've never seen one of these locally. In fact, I hardly ever see Tectoy games locally. I know somebody out there has got a Battletoads and Battlemaniacs for Master System. So I think it's like the strangest thing, but this was really the first Tectoy game that I bought. As far as the game itself, it's interesting. It's interesting because the gameplay itself is really smooth, but everything is such a pixelated, kind of blurry mess at times that it's hard to tell like what kind of monsters are coming from. Especially like, okay, so who's seen my last game that I'm proud to own video? Has anybody seen that one? Okay, you know when I talk about Heathcliff the Fast and the Furious, where if you run over the pumpkins, like the big pumpkin shows up on the screen and it like stays there for a few seconds? Okay, the Cyclops single-style demons in Duke Nukem 3D, you see them all the way in the distance, and then all of a sudden it's like bam in your face, and it's like it's a pixelated gigantic eye that actually shows up on your screen. I'm like, no, literally the first time I saw that, I like jumped out of my chair. It basically freaked me out, but it's really cool to have, because it's like never in my wildest dreams would I would have thought that Sega would have officially licensed the Duke Nukem game on the Genesis. Now, we did get Duke Nukem on the Saturn, which is a great sport. It was a really great port, but I would have never thought that would have been a thing. And after that, this was the first Tectoy game that I got. And after that, now I've expanded onto other Tectoy games. Like I did get Battletoads and Battlemaniacs. I got Street Fighter 2 on the Master System. I got Virtual Fighter Animation on the Master System, and coming soon to the Treasure Chest. Coming soon, Street Fighter 2 on the Master System. So just throwing that out there. If anybody's ever seen it, it's a trip. It's a trip. So I'm definitely going to be covering that pretty soon. Yeah, that's my story of Duke Nukem. So great try. Good try. That's what I'll say. But it's still really cool to have. All right. And last but not least, the Saturn Bomberman multi-tap. So, who here competed in the, not last year, but the year before that at Retropalooza, they had a Saturn Bomberman tournament. Did anybody here compete in that?
It was in 2016.
Oh, 2016, okay. Well, did anybody compete in that one? No? Okay. I was in it, I got destroyed. But the cool thing about Saturn Bomberman is that it's a game that I've never actually owned up until recently. So many of you know like my story of 9999, which was basically like the day that I bought a Dreamcast, and I essentially sold like all my Saturn stuff to get a Dreamcast because I wanted it on day one. I'll expand more on that story in September. But about this though, because Saturn Bomberman was one of the games that I never actually owned as a kid. I never could find it. Even when it was available, I couldn't find it. So I wound up settling on an import version. So I got the Japanese import, and I found one multi-tap, and I started getting a bunch of other controllers. And I was talking to Jenny, and I was just like, to my wife, Jenny, and I was just like, man, I can't find another multi-tap. And I really wanted to get, because one of my things I wanted to do for my birthday was like, she's asking me, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I'm like, I wanted to have a 10-player Saturn Bomberman, because we have a big TV in the front, and I was like, I got enough controllers. I just don't have a multi-tap. Well, I gotta buy one, I just need another one. And so for my birthday, she gave me this guy. And what's really cool about this is there's also one for the Super Famicom as well. Did that one come to North America? Or no? I don't think it did. I think it was only in Japan. But of course, this guy never left Japan, and of course, Saturn Bomberman is now one of the rarest games on the Saturn. But look at this guy. Aww. Isn't that adorable? Hey, what's up, Greg? How's it going? Game Bros, everybody. What's up, Barry? Quick bump from G to the next level. Game Bros, this is the man. And Game Bros is the store.
G, man.
Yeah, so it's adorable. And I had to bring this one in really because it seems like every time I do a gaming items I'm proud to own episode, something happens to sneak in there that came from my wife. So I want to bring up my wonderful wife. My wonderful wife, 7-time Pokemon Puzzle League champion. And yeah, she's part of the reason why I'm here today. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't have nearly the amount of courage that I have to do this. So I really do appreciate that. So for those who have not played 10-player Saturn Bomberman, you absolutely need to. It is a trip. Like literally, like, we spent maybe I think like maybe 2 or 3 hours. We went like all the way into the night. Yeah, I was just like all the way into the night playing it. It was insane. It was awesome. I mean, I wish we had gotten on video, but man, we'll do it again. We'll do it again, totally. And so, yeah, I mean, Saturn Bomberman. Now I have, which I will actually cover in another episode, I actually do have a US copy of Saturn Bomberman now. So, finally. And yeah, it's incredible. So, cool. How am I doing on time?
Technically you have 5 more minutes in this segment, but I can always just add it on the Q&A.
Would you rather go straight to the Q&A, or would you want to hear one more story?
One more.
All right, one more story. Nice. Now, I never watched that cartoon. So, and one of the other cool things about this too is I want to give also a special huge thanks to Tales of Taylor, because he gave me yesterday a pair of Knight's mouse pads that he got in Japan. And I've never ever, because you never see Knight stuff anywhere. I think maybe I've seen like a plush and a few random things, but you never see Knight's merch anywhere. So it's just like, that was just incredible, man. So, but yes, so Christmas nights. So one thing to know about me, when I was in college, I worked for Funkoland. And of course, everybody is familiar with like Funkoland. I was there pre-gobbling up by GameStop. So yeah, it's like when things were still good. And I remember, like, I never really, even though I had a Saturn and I was still huge into it, I was never really exposed to Knights. Like, it was always just kind of strange to me until, like, we got these samplers out. And my boss, Terry, like, at the time, she was like, hey, and you said you hadn't played Knights yet, do you want it? Like, and so she gave me the sampler disc, and I took it home and I fell in love with it. Like, for anybody who hasn't played Knights, it's really a unique kind of experience. It's hard to explain. Well, who here has played Knights? Yeah. Played Knights? Okay, actually, a lot of y'all have played Knights. Nice. It's a series that Sega, like, sorely needs to bring back. I mean, seriously, they need to bring it back. I mean, they brought it back for the Wii, and it was good. But I'm just like, we could use one more Knights, among other things. Yeah, on the Switch, or on everything. But, so I took this home, and literally, I kept playing that demo level over and over and over, and I was just like, I need this right now. And so yeah, I pre-ordered it at GameStop the next day. I had the big box with the 3D control pad and everything. So, when I found out about Christmas Nights, so Game Players Magazine, may it rest in peace, they were actually giving these away in December copies of their magazine. And I heard about that, and so I went to, what's it called? It's Randall's now, Safeway. It's like I went to Safeway and I picked up a copy of the magazine and I took this home. And I was like, it's so cool because it has its own little condensed story. Even though, yes, it's just a reskin of the first stage of Knights. But it's just so cool how they took the time just for this free little sampler, which, by the way, was also sold in Japan. Just to add voice acting, add a little unique story for the two human characters with it. But what's even cooler about this is that there actually is, I don't know if you all are familiar with this, there's a way to unlock to play as Sonic in this demo.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't quite work. It doesn't quite work. But it's one of those things that it really makes you think. Because the Sega Saturn, as awesome as a system as it was, you really have to ask questions about, like, what would have made it been more successful? You know, it's like, and one of the key pieces that I think is that if you had a true Sonic game. I mean, yeah, we had Sonic 3D Blast, we had Sonic R, we had Sonic Jam, and between the 3D portions of this and a Sonic Jam, it really makes you think that with the right care and the right time, they could have made a good 3D Sonic on the Saturn. I mean, they tried it with Sonic Extreme, and they failed. Quick shout out to stuff we played for the Art of Failure on that game, Sonic Extreme. But yes, it's actually really interesting on this, and it really makes you wonder, like, did Sega really do any other sort of, like, cool Christmas like unique takes on any of their other games. I don't believe they really did that with this. But the Saturn, man, it was an awesome system. But yeah, Christmas Nights and stuff, and I do have the Japanese release as well. It's like Christmas Nights and stuff, and I just want to say, this was just great. We need more nights. I mean, you all think we need more nights. We need more nights.
Yeah.
Watching, say we need more nights.
Nice.
Real quick, you got a question.
I'd like to add one thing about Christmas Nights. Did you know that in Sonic Adventures, in the Dreamcast version, apparently if you activate online on the 98 or 99, apparently there's a tree on one of the stations first, and if you jump on it, the song from the game from Christmas Night.
Yep, absolutely. There was also some PSO downloadable content that had a Nights theme to it, and there's an unlockable Nights bonus minigame in, I can't remember which Sonic Advance it is, but it's one of the Sonic Advance games. There's a bonus if you hook it up to the game. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Sonic Adventure on the GameCube. You hook it up, and you hook it up to your Game Boy Advance, and there's a Nights minigame in it. And I'm like, that's actually really, really awesome. So, yeah, Nights, like I said, it's one of Sega's franchises that sorely needs to come back. So, yeah. All right, so, yeah, that was great. Thank y'all for letting us do this live. That was a lot of fun. So, awesome. Now it's time for Q&A. So if anybody's got any questions.
Wait a minute, it's time for what?
Q&A.
Q&A?
Q&A.
That doesn't sound right.
What does it sound like?
I think GQ&A.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. GQ&A, everybody. Yeah, we'll go with that.
You can only ask a question if you're in a suit.
Yes. But nobody here is in suits.
Oh,
Kind of one question.
no one's
So, okay, let's go ahead and if you have any questions for me, go for it. What you got?
What's your favorite Sonic game?
My favorite Sonic game is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Definitely. Because Sonic 3, actually, you know what? I missed something in my gaming items. I'm going to bring it up since you brought up Sonic 3. I actually brought something else, which, by the way, shout out to the little Knuckles cosplayer right there. So while it's still kind of on the nose of what's going on with Sega and Sonic 3, about like all legalities with Michael Jackson and all that kind of stuff, I wanted to bring up something that my buddy Nick gave to me for my birthday this year. Hold on, it gets better. Hold on, it gets better. Little on the nose, don't you think? Just a little bit. No, I love this. I absolutely love this. I don't have the actual vinyl. He just gave me the cover, but I'm like, that is incredible. I'm just like, and whatever the case might be with what a couple of us call Jackson game, I really hope that they, whatever the legal reason or whatever the reason behind why we can't get Sonic 3 on anything like the Genesis Mini that's coming out, which by the way I'm super excited for. Super excited for the Genesis Mini. I just hope that they make it happen. I hope so. But yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, that's my top Sonic game. I'd probably say real close right behind that is, actually I'm going to say Sonic Mania. It's probably my second favorite. That game just blew me away how good it is. Yeah. What you got, Lex?
I want to ask you this. I keep on forgetting, but since we're at Q&A, I'm going to ask, what is your favorite episode of Sonic Saturday?
Wants to know what my favorite episode of the Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday morning series, Sonic Saturday.
I'm over there.
I think it would have to be the one where he races the robotic cheetah. I think it's just called Sonic Speed. I think is the name of that episode. Where basically, like, he challenges Robotnik to a race, and Robotnik builds this robotic cheetah to actually go up against him, and he goes just so fast that he winds up destroying the cheetah, and Robotnik cheats or something like that at the very end. And that's definitely my favorite episode. I will say this too about Sonic Saturday. I know thoughts about the Sonic movie withstanding. I know that Jim Carrey is gonna make a killer Robotnik. I know he is, but I mean he's got to be Jim Carrey as the original voice of Robotnik. It's got to be him, man. It's tough. It's like trying to beat Mark Hamill as Batman for voice. It's tough.
I thought it was
You know?
the Joker.
Joker, sorry. Joker. Wow, okay. My bad. It is Joker. Yeah. So, my fault. I meant.
Wait a minute, Batman's the Joker?
Yes.
That's a weird detour.
I was you all along.
But yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, now you did. That he did. So, yeah, that's definitely my favorite. Alright, what you got?
Who is your favorite character in Sonic?
Aside from Sonic himself, my favorite character is Blaze the Cat.
Yeah.
Although Knuckles is pretty great, especially Sonic Boom Knuckles. Sonic. Yeah, hey, I thought your middle name was Yeah, Blaze the Cat is my favorite. She solely doesn't get used as much as I really think that she should. But however, it did make me very happy because I finally got Team Sonic Racing a couple weeks ago. It made me very happy to see her as a playable character. I was like, yes, Blaze gets love! Yeah, finally. So, alright. Let's go deep.
Alright, back to the Sonic movie. Do you think Jim Carrey's gonna hurt himself having to carry an entire movie like that?
He's already hurt himself trying to carry the movie. It's too late for that. I hope they gave him some good back medicine and some braces. Yeah, he's probably gonna carry that movie. And for any of y'all that's seen my news video about that, and I'm just like, I mean, yeah, he's getting redesigned, and I think that's probably good overall. But you can redesign Sonic all you want. If the movie's still not good, it's still not good. So we'll see. It got delayed to February, so we'll see what happens there. Yes.
You're a big Sonic fan, so what is something you wish did not happen as far as Sonic between the games, the series? What is something you wish that they had not done?
That they had not.
Like they did something that you said, yeah, I should not have gone there. As far as series and games.
I think probably as far as things that Sega didn't or did do that they shouldn't have done.
No, I'm talking about overall Sonic.
Oh, just overall, okay. I know this is probably going to be a boring answer, but I'm going to say Sonic 06.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's like as much as I want to say something else, I can't. Because literally that was the turning point. And it's like, to me, I will be a Sonic fan until I die, like no matter what. But the thing is that I believe Sonic 06 was the real turning point when the quality started getting a lot more iffy and off the spot. And it's like, to me, it's like, I think if I could give my thoughts on Sonic 06, which I will get to that in an episode, if I wanted to give my Sonic 06 thoughts in a nutshell, they tried too hard. That's probably my biggest thing, is I think that they tried way too hard to reinvent the wheel, and it blew up in their face. And then shoehorning in the love story, and everything else just doesn't make sense, and the gameplay is broken. It put a real black eye on the franchise. Not only that, I won't say what it is because there's a question about it, but there's a certain 15th anniversary release that I think was also a black eye on Sonic, but we'll get to that later.
So go back to Michael Jackson's Moonwalker today. Your copy that you have, or do you have a copy, which I guess is a stage 3 graveyard. So where there's different, a pretty young thing, but originally it was supposed to be Thriller, and it was.
Correct.
So is yours Thriller or is yours Pretty Young Thing?
Nope, mine is Pretty Young Thing.
Have you ever seen or found one that has Thriller?
Nope, I would love to have one.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm wondering. Is it that rare or?
As far as rarities wise, we know it's proven that it does exist. But the thing is that I can't really say how rare it is compared to the original. It's just because there's no way to tell. There's no markings, there's no revision numbers or anything like that. There's nothing even on the board. You just have to play it and get there. And I was just like, yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Pretty Young Thing. That's also one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. But yeah, I'm not really sure exactly how rare it would be. But if I found one, I would totally get it.
Do you have an actual Michael Jackson Thriller album?
I do.
The record?
Yep,
Okay,
I do.
I have 3 at the house. I was going to sell some to you.
Oh no, definitely. That was one of my wife's father's records that we kept.
What was your opinion on Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric?
I can't get that just yet. I have a video coming for it, but if I have to put it up real quick as far as my thoughts on Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, Sonic 06 got some competition for the worst game. But, however, I will also say there's a few others that I think a lot of people are sleeping on that I think are worse than both of those games. So, but yeah, Rise of Lyric, again, It could have been great. It really could have been great. And I think it had a lot of great ideas, but it was just that at the point to where they just changed everything in mid-development, and then they were dead set on releasing it at this particular point in time. They had really shot themselves in the foot with it. So. Now, granted, Fire and Ice on the 3DS, that's actually a decent game. Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice, that one's actually decent. But yeah, Rise of Lyric.
What are some good games to start off a Master System collection?
One more time, Brad?
What are some good games to start a Master System collection?
To start a Master System collection. Okay, what are some good games to start a Master System collection? So Master System is a little strange because the majority of the games that came out for it did not come out in America. So if you're really sticking to like a US collection, I'd probably say get the arcade boards of anything. Afterburner, Outrun's excellent. Quartet's actually really fun. Like that's a great game. Double Dragon, it's a Choplifter. Choplifter is really good. If you can get into like some of the imports, there's some really good ones. Like I've said and over time. So this is funny, real quick. So I did are you familiar with tier makers? Like when you go online and you rank like what you put like S rank, A rank, B rank. So when the Sonic movie trailer came out, just for giggles, I made a tier maker of like my favorite Sonic games. And in the top rank, I put Sonic 2 Master System. And right underneath that, I put Sonic 2 Genesis. You don't know how much flame I got for that. And it was just like, oh, well, but the thing is that many people don't know the Master System version plays a little bit different than the Game Gear version. And especially since you can see everything on the entire screen, it makes the game so much better. And the level design is great, the music is great, the graphics are excellent. It became quickly one of my favorite games in the franchise. But if you can get a copy of Sonic and Sonic 2, Sonic 1 is great too. If you can get a copy of both of those, they're great. I wouldn't recommend trying to get a US Sonic 1, unless you want to pay for a sticker. But if you can get the imports, then yeah, that's actually very good. I'd probably say, and R-Type. R-Type, Raston's also very good. Yeah, I think those are probably some good ones to start a Master System collection. I said Double Dragon. Absolutely.
So Wonder Boy too.
Wonder Boy's great, especially for you. Yeah, it's great. Monster World 4, the Genesis Mini. Finally getting that US. I was excited about that.
On the last episode of the games you reported on, you mentioned this one game you and your sister played on the same channel, that you both worked as a team to make your own player's guide, page from page. Was there any other player's guides that y'all made growing up?
We started making one. So what Hector is asking is that in my last gaming items I'm proud to own, I talk about Sega Channel memories. And how my sister and I basically we tag teamed for an entire weekend, played all the way through. Who here has played Beyond Oasis? Yeah, great game. If you haven't played it, absolutely go play it. It's actually one of the best answers to Zelda on the Genesis. Great game. Also known as the Story of Thor. But we took an entire weekend and we just basically dismantled the entire, well, not physically, but we basically analyzed and went through the entire game and wrote a storyline, like not storyline, I apologize, a strategy guide for like point for point, going through like, hey, this is how you do this, like almost like on a Prima level. It's crazy, like how much detail that we actually went into that. As far as any other ones that we did, unfortunately, we started one for Subterranea, but then my sister hated that game, so we stopped that. I went on with it, but unfortunately, it only wound up being like a one-pager. But no, we actually, unfortunately, didn't really do any other ones after that. But that binder that you're talking about has a lot more of the stuff that I'm definitely into.
How many pages?
In the binder?
Yeah.
A lot. I'd probably say a good 50 pages. There's a lot, if not more. But yeah, that's definitely going to get its own. It's so massive that it's going to get its own gaming.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. Any other questions? Yes.
So what's the worst Sonic and 3 and Knuckles level, and why is it Sandopolis Act 2?
Wait, what?
What's the worst Sonic and 3 level in that entire game, and why is it Sandopolis Act 2?
I can't argue against that. So he's asking like, why is the Sandopolis Act 2 the worst stage in Sonic 3 and Knuckles? It's just bad design. But to be completely honest, it's like, on the whole, that's why I say Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because I think Sonic 3 on its own is so strong, but it's just too short. And Robotnik is too easy, like at the end. Unlike Sonic 2, where he's like a lot tougher. But if you put them together, you get the quintessential experience. But when you take Sonic and Knuckles on its own, it's just kind of weak. That's the downside about it. And then you get to Sandopolis, like he's mentioning, And it's so frustrating. I mean, literally, that is almost as frustrating as Labyrinth Zone, Act 3 in Sonic 1, which there's kids present, otherwise I'd get no fingers. But, and casino stage, in Sonic 3, with the
Carnival.
device, the Carnival Night Zone, thank you. Carnival Night Zone with the barrels. I was like, so, who here knows about the barrels in that stage? All right, who cheated to get past it? Who used Tails to cheat? Yes, because I got tired of trying to figure it out, so I put a plug in the second controller and I used Tails to cheat and get past. But eventually I did finally figure it out. But yeah, no, I fully agree. That is the worst stage in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. See, Act 1 is okay, it's just 2. That's so frustrating.
You have time for one more if it's really quick.
All right, one more? Okay, Jordan, back there.
What do you think about Sonic Lost World?
Highly underrated.
I don't hear anybody talk about it ever. At all.
Coming soon.
Alright.
I'll do it justice, because Sonic Lost World, to me, it really is, it's a shame that, I guess because it was on the Wii U, and at that point it was just like, hey, maybe nobody really had that kind of interest about the Wii U, but Lost World is awesome. The thing is that if you take Lost World and you look at it as just a grand adventure style game, don't think of it as much as a Sonic game. But if you think of it more of it as an adventure game, just because of just how unique the design, how colorful it is, the music is, seriously, it's like right next to Sonic Colors. I'd say those are really like 2 of the most underrated Sonic games. So, great. All right, so with that, Bell, I believe now it's time for a trivia giveaway. Who's ready for the trivia? Woo! Get loud, who's ready for the trivia? Alright, so, tonight's trivia, basically how it all goes is that I'm going to ask a question, wait until I give the question in full, and if you answer the question correctly, just come up, raise your hand, and you can answer the question, and I will give you the prize. This ready. That's my mystery. Okay, question number 1. Sega, in their wisdom, decided to take a turn in the darkness by drastically changing this iconic RPG series into an anime-heavy action series, losing the force it once had. What Sega game series am I talking about?
Star Wars.
I wish Sega actually had brought the Star Wars games home aside from the one on the 32X. Not quite, no. It's an RPG series.
Pac-Man.
What is Fantasy Zone?
Close. Almost. Got it. Yep. It's the Shining series, because there was Shining Wisdom on the Saturn, which was an action RPG, Shining in the Darkness, which is their quarter game, and then Shining Force, which is of course the strategy game. And then they started making the whole Shining Tears series. Yeah. So, please bring back Shining Force, Sega, like a real Shining Force. You get a classic Zelda sword. Thank you so much. Yes, take this. Take this. All right. Next question. Next question. In my level 10 video about Sega games that should have been on the Genesis Classics collection, one rare adventure game made the list that was obviously inspired by The Legend of Zelda. And in fact, my boy Sonic made a cameo in it. What game is that?
Crusader of Sentis.
Yep, you got it. Crusader of Sentis, a.k.a. Ragnarsenti, a.k.a. Soleil. Yes, a.k.a. very expensive. And so, yes, you can draw the pocket watch. Good job, good job.
Wait a minute. Everything stops now because you have use a bell. Alright.
Yeah. Alright. Next question. As I mentioned earlier, my wife is a 7-time Pokemon Puzzle League champion. I once live streamed one of her tournament victories, and she was cosplaying as this member of the Elite Four. Who is she cosplaying? Who is she dressed up as? Part of the Elite Four. No, unfortunately not.
Cynthia?
Get older.
Agatha.
No.
Ursa?
Mm-mm. No. No. Anybody else? Doot, doot, doot. No. Okay. It was Lorelai. Alright, that's okay. I got a backup question. What was the name of Sega's oddball answer to a Pokemon game on the GameCube? No. Awesome game though, but no.
What was the question?
What was Sega's oddball answer, or I guess alternative, to a Pokemon style game on the GameCube? No?
James knows it, right?
I'm just gonna
Monster Rancher?
Close. Not quite.
It was,
Oh, it's okay. Okay. James? James?
just the child gardens.
So speaking of that, Sega needs to make a child garden for like mobile phones. Like seriously. That's like money. That's money.
Amazing Island?
Yes! There it is. No, that was brilliant, actually. No, the game that he's talking about is Amazing Island. It's a very strange Sega-published Pokemon-style RPG for the GameCube. If you see it, it's worth picking up. You get a pair of wall arts. The classiest of walls. All right, next question. Nickelodeon's Ren and Stimpy. Who here is a fan of Ren and Stimpy? Sweet. All right. So Ren and Stimpy had a game on the Genesis called Ren and Stimpy's Adventure, which is a fantastic, actually one of my favorite co-op games on the system. But Sega actually made one other Ren and Stimpy game for Game Gear and for Master System in Brazil. Who knows the name of that Ren and Stimpy game?
it was Buckaroos.
No, that's for the Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
But close though. Close though.
Wrong. I didn't know that.
Close. Almost. Nope. No, unfortunately not. No, that's also on Nintendo.
It's a good game.
No?
It had to do with the Kilted Yaksman. Oh, yeah, you're on the right train. Yeah.
Come on, you got it. You got it.
And the Royal Canadian Kilted Yaksman?
Close. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call it on that. You were really close. Is Ren and Stimpy the quest for the Shaven Yak?
Right.
That's it. So that's okay. Since you guys mentioned other Ren and Stimpy games, so tell me this. What's the name of the Super Nintendo Ren and Stimpy game that's based off the episode that they're dressed up as Dalmatians?
Fire Talks.
Yep, there it is.
Somebody else can have the yeah,
Sure.
yeah, totally.
Okay, no worries, no worries. All right, next up. Who played as Mario in the live-action segments of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show?
Captain Blue out that.
Yep, do the Mario! You get it, Super Mario Odyssey. Great, thank you, appreciate it. All right, next up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and ask this one anyway. It seems that Sega never really had a real answer to Metroid on any of their systems, like even all the way up to the Dreamcast. However, on the original Xbox, Sega published an often forgotten game that definitely compares to Samus's Adventures. What was the name of that Sega published Metroid-like game on the Xbox? Yeah, I figured this one might be a little bit tough. Very obscure, but great game if you find it. Alright, I'll call it. It's Gun Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, great game that Sega just unfortunately abandoned. So, okay, what was the name of Nintendo's Game Boy Advance remake of the original NES Metroid?
Zero Mission.
Yep, got it. Alright, come on up, Ryan. You get a Metroid. Samus Returns. Thank problem. Anytime, man. Thanks for coming out. All right. Let's talk Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot certainly made a comeback. However, the developer Naughty Dog has humble beginnings, as their first published home console game was a Genesis game. Does anybody know the name of that game? No, that's starting with 3DO. But good guess though. Good guess though. Strange game too. Anybody?
Ring of Fire?
Almost. Rings of Power.
Oh, that's
Rings of Power was the name of that. Okay. This shining star of Sega's mascot lineup was sadly overlooked for the Genesis Mini. Who was that mascot?
Ristar?
Ristar. Yep. You get a golden crash.
Oh, wow.
Golden crash Totaku. Okay, nice, appreciate it, man. By the way, I love those Totaku figures. They're really, really well done. Good on them for that. All right, let's talk Sonic. Not counting the original Sonic the Hedgehog anime film, can anyone name all 4 of Sonic's voice actors? American voice actors. There's 4. Or whoever can name as many as possible.
Jason Griffith, Brian Drummond, Jaleel White, and Roger Craig Smith.
And you know what? You're right. Because there's actually 5. That's Brian Drummond. But that's okay. Come on up. Hey guys, the other one that would have been acceptable is Ben Schwartz.
Oh.
So, yes. A Sonic comic prize pack. This comes with various Sonic comics, including a variant of number 1. And Griffin, sorry, Jason Griffin. I said Jason Griffin. And you get 2 Ren and Stimpy Pixel pals. Alright. In my level 10 Sonic games you shouldn't skip video, I talk about how much I love the Sega Sonic arcade game. However, there's one other Sonic arcade game that tried to put up a fight for my attention, but it just didn't work. What Sega Sonic arcade game am I talking about? Yep. Sonic Fighters. I'll hold it over on the next one. And PS3. Yep. Get a Sonic Pixel Pal.
Wow.
Alright, now the big giveaway. The final question. Alright. Really curious to see if anybody knows this one. Sega exited the console business after the Dreamcast, and their games now appear on all consoles, including Nintendo. However, one Sega console actually had a game from a Nintendo franchise released for it, but only in Japan. Can you tell me either the Sega console or the game franchise?
Sega Saturn?
No, not quite though. I'll give you a hint. It's educational. Said it! It's all good. yeah, it was the, that's okay, I got another one. It's the Sega Pico. In Japan, there actually is a Pokemon version of the Sega Pico. It's yellow and it actually has Pikachu's face on it. It is one of the most adorable things ever, and I want it. I want it so bad. Yes, she also wants it too. Alright, so backup question for you then. So, as I've already mentioned several times, I'm super excited for the Genesis Mini. Believe all of you, I will be making a 10 games that should have been on the Sega Genesis Mini once it actually comes out. But Sega's last attempt at licensing an HD Genesis console did not bear so well. Made by AtGames, what was the name of this console? Crab is not an acceptable answer, but is a true answer. What's up? No. Unfortunately, no. It's by AtGames. Think about it. I'll give you a hint. Their entire line of like these retro things, like these retro consoles, all share the same name. It's the Sega Genesis.
Art System? Flashback?
Who said it?
Art System?
No. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
What was it?
Flashback.
Yep, come on up. It's a Sega Genesis flashback.
The Sega Genesis lag master.
Yeah, because all the other ones that were called the Sega Genesis Classic. Alright. You actually get the one that is good. Because that game actually does make one really good set. And that's the Atari flashback. Alright, so we got about 10 more minutes. So, you know what? I'm going to call a little bit of an audible. So, for those of us who've been with the panel a couple of times, notice that gentleman right over there, his name is Brian. If you ever wonder why he always asks me if I am Dr. Mario God. And it's mainly because there's this one instance where my wife and I were actually in a Dr. Mario tournament, and I won. And that never happens. Like, literally, that never happens whenever I actually beat her in a puzzle game. So, how this is going to go down is that, thankfully, my buddy Jose here has an NES Classic here set up and ready to go. We're going to do this live. Jenny, you ready? Who wants to see that happen? Alright, let's do this.
Oh, I will.
Wow, really? Are you a god?
He's still low key.
Jay.
Traitor! Let's go, Jay.
What?
We'll do this in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Alright, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Change the music. Round one.
You know, something about this isn't right.
Need a commentator.
I do need a commentator. And,
Seth.
how about
Seth.
you? Ladies and gentlemen, James from Stuff We Play, everybody. All the way from Canada.
Wow.
Canadian. Oh, okay. That's okay. This is perfect. Oh, go ahead, grab the mic. Cool. I can get going, alright.
Who's ready for the rematch of the century? On the left, we have G. Jenny! Don't understand anything before we begin this rematch right here. Ooh, fighting words.
Sometimes things are
Alright, so
here we go.
start Dr. Mario. Dave start with the blue pill. Oh. Jenny's starting off strong. I think G's also dropping some pills there. Please do not take that out of context, but it's getting intense. It's getting intense. Trying to keep this going. I know professional sports commentator. This is the intense esports action. Everyone comes to Retropalooza for. She has gotten a string of red pills, but it seems like Jenny has enough time to come back from this, or not. I don't know if you guys have the score.
Oh.
It's getting intense. They're playing on level 13, though it says low. I forget what that means in Dr. Mario. I am not an expert, I am just a commentator. I just...
Low speed.
I'm a YouTuber, I don't actually know what I'm doing, I just pretend to know. The comment section gives me enough crap for that.
Still doing better than me.
Woo! But anyways, here we go, we have the line of yellows coming down there. Comes some red pills, comes some blue pills. Can I get some golf claps from audience?
Get loud, y'all.
G. Take sides.
Noise. Happy
feet. Whoa,
Intense.
more pills coming down. Looks like G is slightly in the lead. But G has more than enough time to get back to this.
Noise.
Noise. No,
I thought you were saying nice at first.
yeah. That's a pretty nice play right there. Thankfully, Wood isn't here to hear that, but anyways. Winner, I'm guessing, is getting an Outback gift card.
Noise.
Yeah, always. He's with us in spirit.
Loser gets to wash the dishes for a month. Alrighty then.
Wash dishes for a month and vacuum. Actually, yeah, vacuum.
I see your opportunity here.
Whoever wins is Dr. Mario. Wastes dishes. Something. Here, let's try this out. Who wants candy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, why don't you
Can I
raise
get
your
your
hands?
Sorry about that.
G. Close. Jenny has more than enough time to come back from this. Likely or not. Oh. G only has 2 little blue viruses left.
Who keeps shouting?
Gotta do it the
He could really mess this up that one right here.
You see, in sports, I think this is what they call an opportunity. Oh, no.
GG.
Come on, G. Is that GG? GG for all the G's. Everybody here.
Oh, look, sure. Play the controller. Yes. Hey, you know what? Hey. Truce? No?
My commentary.
Okay then. Yeah, she knows I got nothing on her puzzle league, so. But yeah, so awesome. Thank you for the commentary, James. Appreciate it.
Same time next year?
Same time next year. If you're all here, same time next year. We're same time, maybe not same time, same time. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, that's it. Except for one more thing. For everybody who watched my channel update and Retropalooza announcements, there actually was a giveaway where if you came up to my table and you said a special phrase, you get a ticket in to win a prize. And the phrase was "Ahoo!" from Cleno. So that was the phrase, and now we're going to get to find out of the beautiful treasure chest that Jenny painted here. We're going to find out who wins the special prize. And the prize is a Super Retron HD. This is actually a really good little system. I mean, I always thought that the Retron HD itself was really good, but this one's actually even better. It pretty much plays everything that I played on it, and it's good. So, all right. So then, who's going to be the lucky person? And it is going to be. All right. Can I get a drum roll for everybody? Right on. All right, and the winner is Martin Videz.
Martin!
Congratulations, good sir. Hope you enjoy it.
Oh, that's
Finally got something.
It's okay, everybody mispronounces my last name.
You have one? Are you used to that one?
Who wants candy?
Alright, so that's it, everybody. Thank you all for coming. I'll be here for the rest of the event. I've got these awesome shirts. I'm seeing this.